Hello. So in this video, I'll be showing you how to create an auto-connect, self-booting, non-crashing Phantasy Star Online version 2 Dreamcast CDI disk. Before we start, you will need to install Python and have a hex editor of your choice. I will also link all the tools that you need in the description below. It also probably goes without saying you're going to need your own GDI release of Phantasy Star Online version 2 to actually create into the CDI. So let's get started. The very first thing to do is to open GDI Tools and open the game file, which in this case is the USA version of Phantasy Star Online version 2. You can do this with the Japanese and the PAL versions as well, but the instructions will be slightly different for each step later on. So we will extract all of it into the CDI's tools folder, which I will provide in the description. So we'll just wait for this to happen. This will create obviously the data folder with all the game files in it, and also the IP bin, which is the boot sector, and a sort file, which we will need later on. The first thing for us to do is to change the main executable, which is dpaddress.jpn. So copy dpaddress.jpn, iwashi.c, and katsuo.c into the newserv folder. Newserv is a PSO server with a lot of useful PSO tools. So open a PowerShell window, which is done by holding Shift and right-clicking anywhere in the folder, and then type /newserv decrypt dash, oh, well, would help if I could spell, decrypt dash dcv2 dash executable dash executable equals dpaddress.jpn dash indexes equals katsuo.c dash values equals iwashi.c, and then it will decrypt the main executable for you, which is obviously here as dpaddress.jpn.dec. Now open this file with any hex editor of your choice and make the following edits. Go to the offset 20A4CA and replace 1032 with 0800. Secondly, go to 3F3CE8 and then replace 6EBO with 5C2E. This is related to the LBA track and we'll be using 11702 later. Next, go to 2DEA73 and replace, we are here. And then as you can see, the host name is here, which is game01.blah blah blah. Replace it with the host name or IP address of the server of your choice. So in this case, we'll be doing ragol.org, which obviously I cannot spell, as you can see. And then make sure you do at least 1 0 byte after the host name, otherwise you'll go to the wrong place. For neatness, I'm going to do 0 bytes all the way to remove all traces of the old host name. Lastly, go to 22859C and replace E62FD62F with OB0000EO. This removes the hunter's license check, meaning you can get online. Now save this file and close your hex editor. Now open again the PowerShell from before and do /newserv encrypt -dcv2 executable executable equals dpaddress.jpn.dec indexes equals katsuo.c. And then just wait for the encryption to happen. This does take a little bit, as you can see, but the files you get can just go straight back into the disk and they will work. So you will have 2 ENC files here, which obviously means encrypted. We will now want to copy these into the data folder from before. Then we want to delete dpaddress.jpn and katsuo.c, the old ones. And then just rename the ENC files to the original file names. Yes, we do want to change it. And that is now done. What we'll want to do now is we will want to hack the rest of the binary files. So there is first read, 2dp, mygo, and sgdpldr.min. Copy them into any other folder. I'll just do it into this tools folder. And we also want to go to broadband and fmutl.bin. We now want to open each file and make some specific edits in them to make them work. So in the first read file, we want to go to the offset 2D7A and replace 1032 with 0800. Then we will now open 2DP, which is the browser, and we will want to go to 28C9DO, and we will want to change 6EBO to 5C2E. Next, we will open the fmutl.bin file, and we want to go to 6A2DO and replace 6EBO with 5C2E once again. Then we now need to open the mygo file, and in this file we need to go to 1404 and change 5EBO to 4C2E. Then we need to go to 1410 and change 6EBO to 5C2E. Lastly, we'll open sgdplbr.bin and we will go to 1200 and change 6EBO to 5C2E. Next, we will open a PowerShell window in this folder and we will now hack a couple of the binaries. So the very first thing to do is /dahack first read.bin, all in capitals, 11702. That will make a few hacks to the file so it can boot. Secondly, we now do /binhack32, put in first read.bin, ip.bin, and then 11702. This hacks the ip.bin and the first read bin slightly more. Now that we've done that, we now want to put all the binary files back in their original location. And then obviously the fmutl goes into the broadband folder, not the root folder. Now that we have done that, we are now going to create a dummy file inside the data folder. So open dummy.exe, browse to your data folder, and we'll call the file dummy.dat in all capitals. Now we want to make it 163 megabyte. This isn't perfect, as what you want to do is fill up every single byte on the 700 megabyte CDR, but just for illustrative purposes, we'll do 163 megabytes in this case, and then create the file. We will also need to open the sort text file and add our new dummy file. So just go to the end and put data/dummy.dat1846, and then save that. After this, we now need to make space on the disk so that it can fit on a CD file, as version 2 is about 930 megabytes, I think, which obviously is a little too big for a 700 megabyte CD. So go into your data folder, go into the PSO folder, and what we'll be removing is the non-English movie files. Scroll down to PSO_OP 3600 and delete all the ones except the one with E at the end. Now, get the E file and copy it 4 times, and then rename it to the original files that you've just deleted. This is so that when you try to create a character on a non-English language, it will load the correct file. So there's obviously no letter for Japanese, there's F for French, which I've already done, S for Spanish, and G for German. With this done, we can now go back to the main folder and make the disk itself. So open your PowerShell window in the GDI Tools folder, and then simply write the following commands. So /mkisofs -duplicates -once -c 0,11702 -v, and then the name of the disk, and then -sort sorttext.txt -l -o data.iso data. And then it will take a little bit of time to create the disk, but it is fairly quick. I done correctly, you should get 699 megabytes. If it says 700, it's too big. So you need to reduce some space, probably from reducing the file, the dummy.dat file. Now do ./dc_ip_insert ip.bin data.iso. Then do ./cdi for dc data.iso, and then whatever you want to call your disk. .cdi, and then you just wait for a while. So with the disk finished, all we need to do is we just need to test it. For testing these disks, I personally prefer null DC over flycast, as flycast tends to have some anti-cheat and anti-piracy bypasses. So the disk sometimes loads on flycast when it wouldn't on a Dreamcast, but if it boots on null DC, it'll boot on a Dreamcast. So let's open our file, which is here. And all we have to do is wait. And if it makes it to the title screen, we are good. And that is it. There are, of course, further improvements that can be made to the disk, such as rearranging the sort file for better load times and patching the executables for things like the ultimate map fix, item loss prevention, But that video is not going to go into those. It's just how to make your own disk. So I hope this was helpful.